Listen, learn.
The region's only local sports talk show, discussing it all from the preps to the pros.
What time is it? Game time!
Simulcasting on AM 730 Fox Sports Tri-State, streaming online at nwksradio.net and the Rockingham app.
They are everywhere.
The Blitz is presented by the Insurance Agency, the Farmer State Bake in Oakley, the Cowboy Corner Express, and Equity Bank of Hoxie, Quinter, and Grinnell.
Stop what you're doing and listen.
Just consistently, that ball's out in the right center field gap. It's down. This will be 2 runs. Linton turns the corner. She's going to second. She dives in there safely. A 2 RBI double for the sophomore. Lauren Linton make it down 8-0. Cowgirls in the 5th. The 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss and a strikeout there again for Allie Cure. She's racking them up here today. That's number 6 here in game 2. And now 13 on the afternoon for Allison Cure.
Kyle Isbell hits it into deep right center field. Varsho is all the way back, and it's a 1-run game. Kyle Isbell hits his 3rd of the year and drives in his 2nd run tonight.
Pelicans a lead at 3 with possession. Alvarado on the high screen. Dribble drive. Slashed away by Williams. Recovered by Wig. Out ahead it comes to Getty. In transition. 3 in the air. It's good. Right down the kisser.
9 on the shot clock. Denver looking for a game winner. Murray has it on the high right side. High pick from Jokic. Murray, jumper from 8. Got it again! 3.6 seconds left for the Lakers. LeBron over to Prince. Jumper's no good at the horn. And the LA Lakers can take that L on the way out, along with that whistle. Denver takes care of La La Land for the 2nd game in a row.
God, you got to love hometown calls. Oh, that's great. I think it's Jason Kamitsky is how you say his name, radio voice on Altitude Radio for the Denver Nuggets. That was a great call there.
That was.
The Nuggets get a late shot again from Jamal Murray. He's a Laker killer. 2 game winners in order to send the Nuggets into what is, of course, the next round of the Western Conference playoffs, where they will face the Timberwolves. That's the most exciting series that Christian Peck-Dimit apparently is ever going to have seen in his lifetime, in his short life, and so he can't wait to buy tickets and go, right?
I know. I kind of want to go.
You don't even know what the prices are going to be. I mean, they're going to be ridiculous.
I was checking the other day. I was checking a week ago, and that was obviously before the matchup was set. And they were like 140 to go.
That's not that bad.
Yeah, but 140 2 weeks ago. I'm sure now that the matchups are all set, it's going to be a lot more than that, and that's just to physically be in the building, at 140. But yeah, Jamal Murray was. I mean, he was questionable going into last night's game, injured calf and all. It especially in the first half, but there were stretches where he did not look great getting up and down the court. Was not moving very well, grimacing after landing on layups, and it didn't matter. Jamal Murray, you are the father. I mean, this guy just he's dominating the Lakers more than I've seen anyone do it maybe in my lifetime. He's just a Laker killer. He hates those guys. I loved his interview afterwards. I think it was with Allie LaForce on TNT. It was literally just like, I have no words. He's just like, I'm gas. It's like, just did it again. Shot went in. It was fine. But no, he dropped a very efficient 32 points on basically one leg. Jokic was super good last night. Michael Porter shot the cover off the basketball. All around Lakers win. And it was a very fun game to watch. I don't know if you did. The whole
I watched a little bit of it. Let's see, where was I? I think I was when I caught a little bit, it was maybe a little bit before halftime. I think I caught a little bit before halftime is where it was.
The fourth quarter was electric. I mean, the Lakers refused to obviously they did, but they refused to lose this game. Especially LeBron turned an ankle in that third quarter, didn't seem to care. Fought all the way through it, had an awesome game, almost a 30-point triple-double. I mean, these guys refused to go out, and it was just trading buckets back and forth. It was an awesome watch. But at the end of the day, Nuggets move on, and yeah, that Nuggets-Timberwolves series is going to be a ton of fun.
We'll see. It should be a really good series. We'll get you updated on what happened completely and entirely in the NBA playoffs last night. We'll get you an update what happened there. I know the Thunder advanced on as well. So, and of course the Celtics with the win too. We'll try to get you more of an update a little bit later on in the program. Shreyas Laddha is going to join us, our friend from the Kansas City Star, talking KU athletics as the Jayhawks. As we mentioned yesterday on Weekend Winners, the Hunter Dickinson getting back, and Rylan Griffin and AJ Storr, and the list goes on and on. Kugel, the guy from Florida. I mean, they have got tons of guys coming in to the University of Kansas. We're going to get Shreyas Laddha thought on this as Bill Self has assembled himself a really good roster for the upcoming season. We'll get his thoughts on that and all that coming up here in our second segment. And we'll also touch on how it's good to be a Kelsey. It's good to be a Kelsey. We'll get to that coming up in a little bit later on in the show. But boy, yesterday, for it being a Monday, was an absolute loaded day and a lot to get you caught up on, and we'll do it with the front page.
Read all about it. Read all about it.
The top stories of today.
I got the early edition, hot off the press.
It's the front page on the Morning Blitz.
Front page, really?
So the reason it was a very busy Monday was for the simple fact that Mother Nature has not cooperated very well trying to allow events to get done. And so Monday was an open day that a lot of teams rescheduled stuff. Colby High School welcomed or visited Hugoton yesterday. The baseball team with a sweep of the Eagles. They won 6-3 in game one, then turned around and won 12-2 in game two. 10-6 in the first year for the Eagles underneath head coach Todd Kane. And they really have done well. They've won 5 in a row. Here has Eagle baseball. And I think the 10-6 overall record is good, but the 8-2 in GWAC is the really good record. They really have played well in league games this year. I'm not surprised once again that Colby has hit the ball as well as they have this year. They've always been a pretty good hitting team. That might be up a little bit of a tick this year, but they do a really good job. They've been impressive in their pitching and especially pitching depth. It's maybe a little bit better than what I thought maybe it was going to be going into the season. And that's credit to those kids getting that work. But they really can. They really have proven to be a pretty solid pitching squad. And then you add in the fact that they're already a really good offensive team. And that's why they've got themselves in a pretty good spot, being 8-2 in GWAC league play and 10-6 overall in their record this year. And I was going to quickly pull up the regional standings right now in 3A, and I believe Colby's in third or second. They're in second place right behind Holcomb. Yep. And Holcomb is 13-5, so it's not out of reach that Colby could possibly, if they continue to win here down the stretch, that they could be the top seed. That might be a bit of a stretch. They have played Holcomb already, and they did split, so that's better than getting swept. They've got series against Ulysses and Sublette left on the schedule that I can see. I don't know what to expect out of Ulysses series. That could be a sweep. It could be a split. I don't know. I would think they're going to be able to take care of Sublette. So maybe they go 3-1 at worst down the stretch here. That puts them at 13-7. And who knows how Holcomb, I don't know, we'll see what Holcomb's got left here down the stretch. Holcomb's got, they got 2 wins against Hugoton and then Lake, and they'll probably win all 4 of those. So Colby's probably right now sitting in that number 2 seed, which is a good spot to be in right now if you are Holcomb. If you're Colby, I beg your pardon. So it's been a great first year in the Todd game. They've played really well. And like I said, I've been impressed with their pitching depth more than I thought. It's definitely better than I thought it was going to be, and their hitting, of course, has been solid too. But nice wins there yesterday for Colby High.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be great if they could jump up, grab that top spot from Holcomb. I'd be a little wary of Russell Victoria and Cimarron Ingalls behind them, who only have, or they're only 1 loss behind them. They've played a few less games, I would assume, because of some cancellations. But they're only half a game back right now with that loss. So I'd be a little bit wary maybe of dropping a spot as opposed to, going for Holcomb there.
Here is the funny thing, and I'm definitely not trying to play the homer card here. I'm not trying to do that. But if you're Colby, you probably want to stay in the 2 spot because you don't want to face Goodland in the first round. Goodland is the 8 seed. And here's the reason why you don't want to face Goodland in the first round is because they're going to probably throw Cole Linton. You don't want to face Cole Linton in a winner or go home scenario. You don't want to do that. I know that sounds very Homer-like sounding, but
you're right.
That's the truth. So you're probably content sitting in that 2 spot unless Goodland moves up a spot, which they could. Southwestern Heights is the 7 seed right now in that sub-state, in that regional, I should say. They could move up a spot, and then it would be Colby Goodland in the first round, which I'd be totally fine with. I'd much rather make a quick trip to Colby than trip all the way down to Holcomb personally. But we'll see how it goes. Goodland's got a lot of games left to either play or make up. Starting today with a doubleheader at Lyman, Colorado. And Lyman, if you don't know, is very good. One of the best small A baseball programs in the state. They're 15-0. They haven't lost this year as Lyman baseball. So we'll see if the Cowboys can piece it together. Once again, Goodland has had a very frustrating year on the diamond. They have just not been able to get the wins. It's been, they just haven't been able to put it all together. Some days the pitching's great and the offense is just good enough, but the defense lets them down. Some days the hitting is good, but the pitching isn't quite there enough, and so they can't score enough runs. They just have not put it all together. But if they can put it all together, they're still a very dangerous team, which why, once again, I make the point. If you're Colby, if we could avoid Goodland in the first round and have to face a all-state pitcher in Cole Linton, I would be okay with that. That's what you're thinking if you're Todd Kane and Colby, which once again had a great day yesterday with a sweep of Hugoton. It was also a sweep yesterday for Lady Eagles softball. They picked up a pair of W's. They swept Hugoton 16-7 and 17-13 with the wins there. Colby has won 8 of their last 10 on the softball diamond. They are now 10-6 overall as well. Just 4-4 though in league play, and they have a doubleheader coming up at home against Ulysses here this afternoon, and I think they'll be able to pick up 2 more wins here against Ulysses. How about Ulysses? A road trip to Goodland yesterday, home, and a road trip to Colby today in back-to-back days. That's some long travels there for Ulysses, and I feel Colby's going to pick up a couple of wins there. That's no offense to Ulysses. They've got a couple of decent players, but overall they lack to score runs, and Colby does not lack in scoring runs. So
my goodness,
that's an equation for a possible bad outcome if you're a Ulysses Tiger. But if you're good Colby, it's going to be good. But they got a first year head coach as well, and Tucker Branham do the Lady Eagles, and they've had a pretty solid year as well. They got a great freshman pitcher, Ryan Carter's youngest daughter is one of their top pitchers, and so they've been pretty good. And once again, they hit the living daylights out of the ball. It's just something about Colby, and I give all the credit to that Blue Barn facility over there in Colby. You can go in and get hacks and cuts all throughout the year. There are no excuses. It's an indoor environment. It's nice, and you can go get – and hey, I think Colby uses that to their advantage. It just shows every single time they step on the diamond. So great day yesterday for Colby baseball and softball. They go a perfect 4-0. And once again, baseball at Ulysses today, softball at home versus Ulysses today, as GWAC play continues for the Colby Eagles. Goodland softball was in a makeup game yesterday. Finally got that Ulysses series in. It had been postponed twice. The third time was the winning combo, and the Cowgirls took advantage of it. They swept Ulysses yesterday, winning 10-0 in 5 innings and 10-2 in a complete 7-game series, or 7-inning game, I should say, in game 2. Allie Cure, that is, pitched 2 complete games with allowing just 2 total runs on 5 hits with 15 strikeouts. She was great, and the defense was pretty darn good behind her. They did have some early errors, but it wasn't terrible. But once again, that's 2 complete games. That was a total of 12 innings with a total of 5 total hits over 2 games allowed, 2 earned runs, and 15 total strikeouts. That was really impressive. That was an amazing showing from Allie Cure. And the offense was good as well, especially in spurts. Got some timely hits.
12 innings is one thing, and obviously we both know softball you're more ought to pitch in multiple games in a doubleheader, but 12 innings is phenomenal, A, and B, to give up, you said 2 total earned runs.
2 total runs total,
craziness.
And they were earned, yes.
Gotcha. Jeez.
It looked dicey early on. I mean, Ulysses got 2 runners in scoring position in the very first inning of that series with 1 out. Allie Cure gets a strikeout and then a pop out, and the inning's over. And that was really the only threat that Ulysses had in game 1. And game 2, they got a run in the second inning, kind of aided by a little bit of some defensive issues. And then they got a little bit of an extra run at the end, a little garbage run late in that second game. But it was domination from Allie Cure, and she played she was really, really good yesterday, no doubt, in the circle. And like I said, timely hits. Lauren Linton had a great hit. Alyssa Rickard had a great hit in there. Natalie Cure, Allie's younger sister, had some great hits as well. They really played probably one of their more complete series of the season in that sweep of Ulysses. Some audio from Tess Smith postgame talking about Allie Cure and also that defense that played pretty well behind her yesterday.
Overall, very happy with the day. Allie continues to keep doing what she does best and throwing well. And we told the defense, maybe about the 4th, 5th inning of that first game that, yeah, it's pretty and it's fun to watch, but don't get caught being stagnant and just watching and keep playing defense behind her. And let's try to eliminate some of these things and get this game over faster so she doesn't have to throw so many innings if we can. But nonetheless, we took care of it and got 2 wins today to help propel us into tomorrow's big games.
Yeah, some nice wins yesterday. Here's the thing, though. You threw all 12 innings of your Allie Cure. You're going to have to throw that again today. The Cowgirls go up against the number 1 team in their regional in a unbeaten Holcomb squad who has pretty much bulldozed everybody in their path, led by Corinne Johnson, their pitcher, who's an all-stater. And it will be and that's the thing. I don't know how you look at this, but you look at it this way. You're playing a very good, or you're playing a Ulysses team that you are much better than. You prove that, and that gives you momentum, hopefully, going into today where you're going to face a much stiffer team. They're going to be a whole lot harder of a team to beat. Does that confidence help carry over to help you compete more with this team, or does it not really matter? Because Holcomb has completely, like I said, bulldozed everybody in their path this year. We'll see if the Cowgirls can do it. Allie Cure is going to have to pitch great, and Goodland Bats are going to have one of their best performances they've had in a long time, even including yesterday, because they're going to face a phenomenal pitcher in Corinne Johnson today. And I asked Tess, I said after the game, how do you go about getting the girls men prepared for a very stiff competition really 24 hours later?
Positives and just keep that going and go with the pitches that she's throwing us and go get that. She's going to be very consistent. We know that. We've now seen her for 4 years. So it's now or never if we're going to get on that and get that going. And so just tell them to wake up tomorrow and have a fresh face and ready to go and just hitting mentality.
Well, they'll need all the hitting they can get. It's going to be a very tough doubleheader today as Holcomb comes to town. We will have coverage right here on 102.5 URock of another softball doubleheader. It was fun yesterday. I'll tell you one thing about softball. It moves along. It is in comparison to baseball, it is a slow, is a fast-paced game. So once again, 2:40 Mountain Time pregame on 102.5 URock as the Goodland Cowgirls host the Holcomb Lady Longhorns. Once again, the top team in the regional. Beautiful day yesterday for some golf. Did you get out to the links yesterday?
I did.
No, you did.
Shot up to Atwood. They don't sponsor the show or anything, but the Atwood Country Club. Nice little course up there. Exactly what you were telling me the other week, which is unique course. Three par fives, 3 par threes on 9 holes is a little bit wild, but shot a career low. So
way to go! Nothing too difficult for Christian Peck-Dimit. Well,
it's a low bar for me.
Did you shoot better than a 75?
I shot a 56.
There you go, career low. Well, it was a 76 actually that Noah Dowell shot yesterday. It was a 5 over 76 on 18 holes for a first place finish at Hayes T&P to lead the Hoxie to a first place finish there. The Indians, who had Charlie Foote also placed top 10, shot 66 over par as a team. Did the Indians 16 shots better than Goodland, who finished in second place, and Colby finished right behind Goodland in third, just 19 strokes back. I was going to quickly pull up these scores here, if you'll allow me. There we go. I have it right now. Let's see here. But yeah, it was a great showing yesterday from Goodland finishing in second, and Colby finishing in third. Of course, Hoxie, your tournament champions, led by Noah Dowell, 76. Goodland's top golfer was Barrett Schlosser. He tied for 5th with an 82. Colby's top golfer, Zane Betts. He tied for 9th with an 87. Isaiah Rosales was right behind him at an 88 yesterday at the Hayes T&P Invite in golf. There's more golf on tap for today. Yes, Syracuse Golf Invite today and the Oakley Golf Invitational, where a lot of area teams will be attending that. It was GWAC Tennis yesterday as well in Scott City. And the Beavers have the nicest facility, I believe, one of the nicest, if not the nicest facility, maybe in Western Kansas. Super nice tennis facility there in Scott City. They blew away the competition. They scored 75 total points. That was 30 better than Cimarron. Goodland and Ulysses tied for third at 16 points. Colby came in last with 10 points. Up next are regionals on Thursday, which is putting an end to a tennis season for some, and state following that. And then two more things before we get off the front page here. Pair of wins on Sunday, of course, we talked about for Colby Community College baseball. They were a hot team. They'd won 7-9. Could not make it 8 of 10. They lost to Seward County in the series finale yesterday afternoon down in Liberal. 11-6 was the final score in Game 4. But still, Colby has still won 7 of their last 10 going into today's single 9-inning game up at McCook Community College. They got one of those, and hopefully they can continue their winning ways and their good play down the stretch here. And, of course, it's a beautiful day for track and field today. The Garden City, it's the Mike Smith Garden City Invitational, and that's where Colby and Goodland and a lot of other GWAC schools will be running, so you'll get to see kind of what a GWAC league meet will look like a little bit. Decatur Community has a track invitational today. Oakley, St. Francis, Rollins County expected to go to that. Tri-Plains, Brewster, and Golden Plain expect to go to the Logan Invitational today with track and field. So there you go. That gets you caught up on the local sports side of things. Very busy day yesterday.
Did we mention CCC softball as well? They grabbed a couple of wins.
They did get a couple wins yesterday. Did they? Yeah. Who were they playing yesterday?
They were playing Dodge City. They were hosting Dodge City. It was 6-5 first game, and then they played a 5-inning one, 11-1. So finished in just 5 innings. Took down Dodge City. Those are a couple of big wins here, which I believe ends their regular season on a high note there.
Are they done? Do they not have another 2 games against Dodge? It's not a 4-game series. That's right. It's just
not a 4-game series. Right. I think everything else has been canceled and not postponed for them.
Yeah, like their games they were supposed to play against Nebraska, some Nebraska community colleges and stuff. They did cancel those. I'm guessing they had to do once again with the changing of the guard at the head coaching position. I would guess that's what that is. I'm gonna look up the standings real quially here in softball.
See where they finished the regular season 27-23, and then I have obviously the important numbers at Jayhawk record 20-12. Pretty good.
Yeah, 20-12, that puts them in 4th place. Butler ran away from everybody. They were 30-2 in the league standings. They lost 2 league games this year. Hutch was not far behind at 28-4 in the league. And then there's a drop off. Barton 21-11 and Colby 20-12. And then Seward County 19-13. So kind of a bit of a log jam right there. Colby finishes in the middle between Barton, Colby, and Seward County. So, yeah, there you go. Good update. I didn't see that. I guess they moved those games up maybe a little bit than what I originally had planned in my schedule. That's all right. They got them in, and that postseason's coming around the bend. I think that's actually coming up this weekend is the Region 6 softball tournament. I think that's coming up here this weekend. I think that's down in Dodge City. I'll have to double check that, but I think that's where that is. I'll maybe look that up during the break. Yeah, there you go. There's your local sports for the day. Let's get to a break. When we come back, plenty more to get to here on the Morning Blitz. Shreyas Latta is going to join us from the Kansas City Star. We got plenty to get to with him about Jayhawk basketball as they continue to just pour in the great talent of players around there. Will there be enough basketballs to go around? I'm not talking in practice. I'm talking about in a game. Will there be enough basketballs to go around? We'll get with that and Shreyas Latta next. Once again, plenty to get to here on a Tuesday edition of the Morning Blitz.
Why do so many dogs suffer from weight issues, skin problems, messy poops, and low energy? It could be the popular dog food you put in their bowl each day.
Cody was sleeping a lot, wasn't playing.
She was very lethargic and not moving around.
Dry kibble just wasn't cutting it.
That's why, after more than 45 years of experience of helping dogs make complete health turnarounds, veterinarian Dr. Marty created Nature's Blend. It's a freeze-dried raw dog food made with wholesome ingredients like premium meats, seeds, vegetables, and fruit. And once dog parents switch their pups to Nature's Blend, the results can be astounding.
She's got her energy back. She's running around like she did like 5 years ago.
Miraculously, she's just feeling all around better. She's like a new dog. Thank you, Dr. Marty.
Get your dog started today and save up to 54% off Nature's Blend. Plus, receive a free pack of our best-selling beef liver dog treats. Go to drmartypets.com/good or text GOOD to 511-511. Text GOOD to 511-511. All dogs are unique. Your dog's results can and will vary. Message and data rates may apply.
It's time for a check of the markets with the Anderson Trade Group on the Kansas Farm and Ranch Radio Network.
Good morning, this is Kate Thompson with the Anderson Trade Group. Today is Tuesday, April 30th, and on the overnights last night, May corn lower 3/4 at 438.5. July down 1.5 at 447. That's 3/4. September down 1 at 457.5, and December corn down 1 at 471 3/4. May soybeans down 4 on the overnights at 11.56 3/4. July down 3 3/4 at 11.78 1/4. August down 3.5 at 11.81 3/4, and September beans down 3 at 11.72 1/2. May Chicago wheat down 9 1/4 at 5.81. July down 4 3/4 at 6.03 3/4. September down 3 3/4 at 6.25 3/4. And December soft wheat down 2.5 at 6.52 1/2. Kansas City wheat the May contract down 6 at 6.37 3/4. July down 5.5 at 6.45. September down 5 1/4 at 6.57 3/4. And December hard wheat down 4 at 6.77 1/2. On the stock market this morning, the Dow down 136 at 38,418. The S&P down 15 at 5,131. The Nasdaq down 64 at 17,839. Gold lower $39.10 an ounce at 2,318. And crude oil up 56 cents a barrel at 83.19. If you have any questions about marketing grain and would like to talk about risk management options, give our Colorado office a call. John Hanke at 970-744-4484, or in our Kansas City office, Tom Saluto, Jared Law, or Tyler Ghosh at 913-748-3000.
The Anderson Trade Group, proud market partners with Kansas Farm and Ranch Radio. Find out more at andersongrain.com. The risk of loss through trading futures and or options is substantial, and each investor and or trader must consider whether this is a suitable investment. Past performance, whether actual or indicated, is not indicative of future results. The Anderson Trade Group has no guarantee that the advice given will result in profitable trades.
Challenge. It's not something you shy from. It's a chance to up your game. Every day brings a new challenge, but with the enhanced Channel Seed brand on your side, you can rise to it. With our top-performing seed, innovative digital tools, and expanded agronomic support, you can turn tomorrow's challenges into your next advantage. Your enhanced Channel Seed brand. Let's rise to the challenge. Learn more at channel.com/rise. Read and follow pesticide label directions, IRM, grain marketing, and other stewardship practices.
The weeds are coming! The weeds are coming!
Hey, Paul Revere! This whole midnight ride thing is getting really...
HPPD-resistant weeds are coming.
We've got Verdict herbicide.
Verdict herbicide?
Yeah, it's a non-HPPD corn pre-herbicide from BASF.
Oh, well then, get some sleep.
Yeah, will do.
The weeds are coming! Switch to Verdict herbicide! Always read and follow label directions!
Today is the day, your final chance to get buy one, get one tickets for Aaron Watson. Going to be in town Saturday night at the Colby Event Center, Colby, Kansas. Today from 11 to 1 at Great Western Tire, the location in
Shreyas, you there?
Yes, sir.
Hey, how's it going this morning?
Good. How are you?
Good. All right, we're going up here in just a little bit.
Sounds good.
You ready to let the dogs out?
Weekday mornings from 7 to 8 Mountain, 8 to 9 Central on 102.5 U Rock and the Rocking M app.
Last day of April. Hard to believe. Going to be a beautiful day. 7:38 Mountain, 8:38 Central Time on a Tuesday. Highs expected today to be once again at around 75 degrees. Chamber of Commerce type weather, hopefully today around the listening region. It's time to welcome in our guest of the day. That would be Shreyas Latta of the Kansas City Star. He covers the Kansas Jayhawks there for the KC Star. Shreyas, good morning. How are we doing today?
Good. How are you doing?
Good, man. Hey, last year you took a vacation. You were on a vacation. I think it was to the Holy Land or Israel, something like that. You taking another big vacation this year?
I went to India actually for
India. Okay, I was wrong on that. But you took a big. I knew it was overseas.
Yeah, I think last year I took a vacation to Spain. So this year I was on vacation for a week. I was working last week, but the week before that, when Kansas was having a lot of stuff happen, I was off.
Oh, so you missed it. Isn't that the way it always goes, right? I mean, you're on vacation, you like to unplug, and that's when everything happens for you.
Yep.
Well, did you still get to enjoy the downtime?
I did. I mean, it's one of those things that, like, obviously when you're off work and stuff's happening, it feels weird to be not working. But I work at a good place and good environment that, they knew that when I'm off, and, I was back to work this past week, and I was working from India for a bit, but wasn't too bad, I think, compared to what it was the week before. But overall, pretty good vacation, good time in India. Haven't been back in 7 years, so good to see a lot of family up there and just enjoy the 2 weeks I was there.
For those who have never been to India, what's the one thing you got to go check out if you are there?
Honestly, you gotta just have the street food. It's life changing. There's a lot of great street food, a lot of great food. I think that's my favorite part, besides visiting family, is just eating the food up there. So flavorful, spicy, sweet, whatever you want. They got everything. It's one of those things that, honestly puts America to shame a little bit, to be honest with you. I really do miss it every time I come.
Well, good. I'm glad you got some good dishes or get some food while you were there. Once again, Shreyas Laddha is our guest. So we're going to talk a little Kansas athletics, in particular Kansas basketball. Now, boy, at the end of this season, when the postseason came to an end in the NCAA tournament for the Kansas Jayhawks, one of the first things that Bill Self said is that he's kind of been looking ahead to the next season already. And boy, I'll tell you what. I don't know if that was the right thing to say at the time, but they have done a heck of a job of preparing for next season already with what they have added in the transfer portal. In your opinion, where does this transfer portal class rank across college basketball?
I think it's by far the best, right? Like, they've got out and gotten a guy like AJ Storr, who averaged 16 a game in the Big Ten. They got Zeke Mayo, who is a bona fide stud in the Horizon League that he played at. They got out a shooter in Riley Griffin. They've got out with a tremendous job, and then they have Riley Kugel, another guy who's off the bench. It's going to be really interesting just seeing how they manage all the different, minutes and rotations and lineups and stuff like that. But this is as deep of a Kansas team as I think Bill Self has ever had at this point.
Who, in your opinion, is the best player they've gotten? You mentioned Mayo, you mentioned Storr. Who is the best player? The Griffin, of course. Who is the best player they've gotten?
I definitely think it's AJ. He has the pedigree, 16-10. I think 16-8 or something like that in the Big Ten is nothing to be scoffed with. He does a tremendous job of scoring the ball. He can play the Kevin McCullough role, even though he's a little shorter. I think he's not quite what Kevin is on the defensive end, but he's a guy that can get you buckets. And I think Kansas needed guys that can get you buckets and he can shoot from range. And he's going to be a lot of fun to watch next year.
What will Zeke Mayo bring to the table this year?
I think instant offense. A guy who can shoot from anywhere on the floor. I think he's going to be huge in that instance. He could be a guy that could potentially, maybe be the Johnny Furphy replacement or a guy who plays heavy minutes off the bench. I think he's going to be he's a Lawrence kid, local kid. I think all that, it brings a lot of excitement to the fan base.
We're talking with Shreyas Laddha, the Kansas City Star, as Kansas basketball has reloaded for this upcoming 24-25 season. Continuing down the additions, the Kugel kid out of Florida, is he more of a shooter? What is he going to bring to this team?
He's a pretty athletic kid. He averaged 9 a game last year, but he's a guy that a lot of people consider an NBA prospect. Super athletic. He showed some promise in some games. There's some attitude issues, I think, in Florida at the end there, but there's a lot of intrigue and promise around it. I think if he, can get back to what, everyone expected out of him, because I think coming into last year, he's expected to be a lottery pick or NBA pick, draft pick. It obviously didn't play out that way, but there's a lot of intrigue and, I think awareness that he could be more than what he was last year. And he's a good bench guy. 9 a game is nothing to scoff at. It's probably more than that in Kansas if he plays more minutes. And he had a better freshman year, I think, than he had last year.
Shreyas Laddha is our guest from the Kansas City Star. Getting Hunter Dickinson to come back for another season, how huge was that? And was it needed?
It was absolutely needed. I know there are, fans in this fan base that feel like Hunter is not, what they hoped, or maybe he's perfect. And I don't necessarily agree that he isn't perfect. He has his flaws, but he's a guy that basically put up 20 and 10 last year. And he did it in a manner that nobody else in the team could do. He was absolutely humongous in bringing back, because now you surround him with shooters. So you arguably, think the offense would be a lot better as it should be. And I just think overall, just, him coming back makes everything a lot easier for Bill Self and co. It's continuity is always a big thing. And Hunter, you know what you're getting from him day in, day out.
Here's my biggest question I have. Is there going to be enough basketball to go around in a game with all the playmakers and all the scorers that they will have on the floor? Because you also add in the fact you have Johnny Furphy, KJ Adams is there still. Is there going to be enough basketball to go around?
Well, Johnny's not, he's just covered the draft. I don't think he's going to come back. But the rest of the guys, it definitely is going to be a balancing act of trying to figure out how to, use each other's skills to the best way possible and be complementary of each other. I definitely think the usage rate for a lot of the big time guys on last year's team is going to be not as high it was last year. But I mean, Kansas was an unselfish team last year. They ranked number 1 in assist rate, so I presume that they'll figure it out. And there might be some growing pains early on, but this team is really, really good, and it has tremendous shooting. And it feels like a team that, if they stay healthy and things don't go awry like they did early last year, that should 100% make a deep run.
Shreyas, I was going to ask you about sort of trying to replace Kevin McCullough. Obviously, that's not an easy thing to do. One of the better two-way guys in the nation from last year, but you did compare him sort of or compare AJ Storr to him in his game offensively. Do you think Kansas still is in need of a guy to step up and be that sort of dynamic 3-level scorer, or do you think that Storr can do that?
I definitely think Storr can do that. I also think it's not going to be a 1-to-1 replacement of Kevin. It's going to be, a replacement of him by committee. Kevin was so good, I think, on both ends of the court. Kansas gets most of that in AJ, but they also have a guy like Griffin and Zeke Mayo who can chip in a good amount of points as well, and help replace Johnny as well. Just overall, I think it's going to be so important to figure out how to maximize AJ's strengths alongside the newcomers and the older players that Kansas has.
Once again, Shreyas Latta is our guest from the Kansas City Star. A couple more for you, but shifting over to football in the NFL draft. We saw Dominic Pooney go 86 overall to the 49ers, getting selected there. Your thoughts on how the NFL draft went, also getting drafted, Austin Booker getting drafted as well by the Bears. How do you feel like the NFL draft went for KU this year, and even guys that maybe weren't drafted like Jason Bean and their stories going into the NFL?
I mean, I think it was great, right? Like they got 2 guys drafted for the first time since 2018, basically. This is the 2 highest picks they've had since Aqib Talib was drafted in 2008. Even with Booker kind of sliding a little bit, he was still kind of highly sought after because the Bears traded into getting him. And a lot of the guys were picked up for, undrafted free agent contracts or rookie minicamp or whatever. I just talked to Mason Fairchild yesterday about this, and he was like, just 2 years ago, we wouldn't even have half the NFL teams show up to our pro days. So it tells you how far the program has come to have 2 guys highly drafted and a lot of guys picked up on contracts or undrafted free agent contracts or rookie minicamp contracts. So just a testament to Lance and those guys and the program really turning it around.
Speaking of the football program, how is it sitting right now as we're through spring ball and into the summer months?
Yeah, I think it's sitting well. I think it's definitely going to be an interesting thing on figuring out maybe picking up some defensive ends in the portal or whatever. But right now, I think they're sitting pretty pretty. And, Jalen seems to be coming back from, injury relatively well, as much as you can hope him for. He's slowly rehabbing. The team looks good. It's just now making sure some of the injuries they had during spring, like some Skinner and et cetera, they have them ready to go by fall.
He once again is Shreyas Latta. He covers the Jayhawk football and basketball for the Kansas City Star. Shreyas, thank you so much for getting up and joining us here on this Tuesday. Have a great rest of your week. We'll catch up soon.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Once again, that's Shreyas Latta there of the Kansas City Star. Am I living under a rock? Johnny Furphy's declared for the NBA draft. I thought he went into the draft to get the draft process, get the draft scout. Is he saying he's sticking around? I did not know that. I'm completely lost. I feel like an idiot.
So Treyas knows obviously more than
obviously
we do in terms of the inside scoop. But no, that's more or less news.
How about this? Did you know this? Did you know that?
No, as far as I
didn't.
knew, he was sort of on that cusp of like, yeah, if he gets drafted, hell yeah. But if realistically,
it's that deal where you can go into the NBA draft combine, you can go through the workouts, and they kind of tell you, well, you might get drafted, you might not. Maybe it's smart for you to stick around and work on this part of your game. That's where I thought Johnny Furphy was. I didn't know he was going to go to the draft. He's completely in. I didn't know that.
I'm guessing that he did. And Treyas has some sort of inside info on the fact that
that's why we have him
what
on.
He's heard back is pretty good. Because Furphy's testables, so to say, are all pretty good.
Breaking news, Johnny Furphy not going to be back next year for Kansas basketball. He's going to stay in the NBA draft.
He did say, though, probably, which makes me feel that it's sort of on that breaking news cusp of there's still a chance he comes back, but if Treyas doubts it, I'll doubt it.
I'll tell you, I don't know. That's God. You just think about Furphy. I just think about all those players and how many. Like, if each of those guys went to another team, most other teams in the country, they'd be the number one player there. Storr, Dickinson, they'd be a number one or number two player. I mean, on most teams around the country, that's really impressive. By the way, I saw yesterday we were actually together when this happened. But I saw that Aiden Mulhaney, who is a fantastic guard out of St. Mary's, he's going to UConn next year. That was a great pickup for UConn. Aiden Mulhaney is a stud out of St. Mary's.
Build better than anybody.
Yeah, jeez. Anyway, that was interesting news. The great stuff there from Treyas. A lot on everything, but especially the basketball side there. Tell us about what to expect next year, which once again, it's going to be a loaded team for Kansas basketball in the 24-25 season. Okay, let's get to break. We come back. It's good to be a Kelsey. We'll tell you why when we get back next on the Morning Blitz.
Weigel Concrete LLC of Colby is the best choice for concrete contracting in Northwest Kansas. Sean and his crew at Weigel Concrete Call 785-443-5784. That's 785-443-5784. Weigel Concrete, LLC of Colby.
Agriculture, a hard-working industry built by a labor of love, blood, sweat, and tears. An industry that is constantly changing at an increasing rate with not enough hours in the day. Nutrien Ag Solutions is here to help carry the burden by offering multiple financing options, in-depth soil health and productivity analysis, field-by-field seed recommendations, and industry-leading services. Nutrien, working smarter and harder. Contact your local Nutrien today.
Your livelihood is important to you. You work hard to succeed in your farming operation, crop, livestock, home, vehicles, and special needs. We have you covered. Discounts are available for new business, remodeling, hail-resistive roofing, multi-policy, and many more. Optional coverage endorsements as well for machinery ingestion and equipment breakdown. Umbrella coverage for additional coverage on your home, farm, and auto. See the girls at the insurance agency at 1020 Main in Goodland or call 785-899-5011.
Excuses like it's hot, dark, even windy are no excuse at all when you go inside the Logan County Rehab and Wellness Center. This modern workout facility offers state-of-the-art exercise equipment, a therapy pool, and more for you to work out at your own comfortable pace and your own schedule. They offer early morning to late night hours. Come shed some pounds inside at the Logan County Rehab and Wellness Center on the west side of the Logan County Hospital in Oakley. Ask about affordable monthly memberships for singles, couples, and families.
The Farmers State Bank of Oakley has been financing agriculture since the day we opened our doors. Hello, this is Corbin, and we are proud to be your locally owned partner in ag. We invite you to come and visit with us when you need to purchase new or used farm equipment, or need any type of agriculture or business loan. We have the knowledge, experience, and financial resources to keep you growing. The Farmers State Bank of Oakley, a tradition of community and agriculture for over 115 years. Member FDIC.
Want to be part of the Morning Blitz?
Don't fight it. Tell me how you really feel.
Send your thoughts to our text line at
We are back here on a Tuesday morning. Glad you're with us on the Morning Blitz. Thanks again to Shrey Aslata for hopping on the program and updating us on KU basketball, of course, the NFL draft, and a little bit of spring football there at the end. Also, a shout out to all those who are tuning in and watching on our new YouTube stream and live stream. We have had triple the amount of viewers here in day 2 than we have in day 1. So shout out to you, and shout out to all those listening, even on the radio, the stream, the audio stream. We appreciate you tuning in, listening here on the Morning Blitz. It's great to have you with us here for the next 5 minutes or so as we wrap up this show here on a Tuesday. Christian was doing some digging during the break. He found the postseason bracket for Region 6 softball. What'd you dig up there?
Yeah, so it does start this weekend like we had thought.
Estimated?
We're right. We're right, as usual.
Right.
Coming up on Friday are the first set of games, and actually the second set of games played on Friday as well. So like we talked about, the Colby Trojans are going to slide in at that number 4 spot, which means they'll play the 5 seed Seward County at noon. And it is in Dodge City. Again, Ross was right. Also, you can not only text, like the promo said, 785-899-2222. Let us know your thoughts, be part of the Blitz, but also wherever you're watching from, if you are, if you shoot a comment onto one of those pages, it will show up for us, so we can see that as well.
Tons of ways to connect with us, and so if you want to do so, you are more than welcome to do that. It's a great day to be a Kelsey. Jason Kelsey yesterday signs an extension, making him the highest paid tight end in the NFL. The details of the new deal: it's a $34.25 million deal with $17 million fully guaranteed for this season, and most of the rest to be guaranteed on the third day of the 2025 league year, so a year from now. Of course, Kelsey fell just 16 yards short of his 8th straight 1,000-yard season. He had a little bit down year. He dealt with some injuries. Didn't have his best year this year, but now the highest paid tight end, so he gets his money, while older brother Jason retires. And now he's going to be joining the Monday Night Football countdown crew as part of their team. Apparently, ESPN won the bidding war. I'm sure there was one for Jason Kelsey. I'm sure everybody got in on that.
Yeah, you would have to think that they're paying top dollar for him, like they are with Travis. Not only, like Ross said, is he the highest paid tight end right now in the NFL? He is the highest in terms of average per year, the highest paid tight end in NFL history. Deserving of it, yes. Deserving of that number for what will probably be the last 2 years of his career, I don't know. But you definitely want to keep him around as long as you can. My guess is, at this point in his career, if he's signing a 2-year deal, that's sort of how long he thinks he has left. That's just a guess, though.
Think about all the extra great publicity that he gives the Kansas City Chiefs, whether it's through his podcast, his girlfriend, all that stuff, all
Punching
the extra publicity,
shoving coaches.
I'm saying, I mean, you want to do all that, that's fine and dandy. That's not the stuff that people remember and talk about. Only you seem to bring that up.
You'd be surprised.
People who hate Travis Kelsey talk about that.
I got nothing wrong with Travis Kelsey.
Maybe there's a lot of
not all
Kelsey
that
haters
publicity
out
is
there.
good.
Maybe there's a lot of haters out there, and that could be it, I guess. I don't see it, but anyway, and Jason Kelsey, I think, will be fantastic on TV, especially if he has his fun personality that he shows with his brother on the podcast. That will be a grand slam for ESPN being on that countdown. Him and Scott Van Pelt may work pretty good together. That might be a pretty good combination. We'll have to talk about broadcast crews in the upcoming weeks. That's one of my favorit topics.
We should, because we need more time to talk about it. But just quickly, 3-person broadcast crews on NBA games, the worst. Can't stand them.
It's too much.
Can't stand them. It's too much.
Yeah, that's too much. Before we get to the walk-off yesterday, a loss for the Royals up north of the border in Toronto. It was one of those games where Toronto gets out front, KC comes back, but still ends up a little bit short. Then Toronto gets up, KC comes back, still ends up a little bit short. They lose 6-5 yesterday. Freddie Fermin and Kyle Isabel go deep. And then the Rockies, of course, had a day off yesterday. They are in Miami taking on the Marlins for a 3-game series. Game 1 this afternoon at 4:40 Mountain Time. Of course, catch your Royals on AM 790, KXXX.
A 3-run walk-off home run. A game-winning walk-off. With a walk-off.
His second walk-off hit of the season.
In walk-off fashion. That baby's go.
Well, we heard the great call to wrap up the Lakers Nuggets series last night with, once again, Jamal Murray, the winner in the lane, 108-106. The Thunder beat the Pelicans 97-89 to win that series 4-0, and the Celtics go up 3-1 over the Heat. Any more thoughts on last night's trifecta of games?
Not a ton. I mean, 3 closeout games, 3 games we sort of expected. Derek White, I think, sort of epitomizes what the Celtics have this year, which is a ton of players playing their best basketball within great roles. He's having, he went bald and he played like MJ last night, because 38 points, 3 blocks was just phenomenal start to finish. We talked plenty about the Nuggets in that first segment. Jamal Murray, just a man possessed, playing on one leg, game winner and all. That's game winner number 2 in in the last 3 games. Craziness. He hates the Lakers, I guess. I mean,
Knicks, 76ers, Pacers, Bucks, Magic, Cavs tonight. Will the Knicks and the Pacers in those series? You got 20 seconds.
No. If Dame Lillard plays, I think the Bucks stay alive.
But the Knicks do advance.
I don't know, to be honest. That one's split.
Who goes up, Maverick, Cavs?
Cavs.
There you go. He called it. Christian Peck-Dimit, he knows all. We'll see you tomorrow. It's been the Blitz.
KKCI, Goodland, Colby. This is the Class